This is tutorial number 5 in the Photoshop Focus Area Collage series. This should be a short tutorial and it's more about things that I discovered as I was making this sample for you. So I went and got an image of a kite. This one here, I'll just make it bigger so that you can see. And I discovered when I wanted to cut it out that actually it wasn't really a good enough image to cut out easily. And I could have spent a while making sure I got all of the ribbons and things like that. But actually this is more about choosing the right image. So if you find that an image really is too difficult for you to cut out and you're spending lots of time on it, at this stage of your learning, what I would recommend is that you actually decide not to use it, turn it off, or if you know you're definitely not going to use it, if you look over in the layers menu on the right hand side, you can left click and drag that layer down into the dustbin in the corner, and that will get rid of it. But remember, that gets rid of it and not necessarily forever, because you should have the image saved somewhere so you can reopen it, but it's definitely not part of this file anymore. So I went and got another kite image that had a white background, and I found that that was a lot easier for me to cut out. I could just use the magic wand tool and I could really quickly and easily get rid of the white background without losing the kite detail, which I couldn't do with the other one. I had the same thing happen to me with an umbrella. So to start with, I'll just show you some of the issues that I found so that you can learn from my mistakes. So I'll just go and zoom in on this. I've got a magnifying glass here on the left hand side that I'll show you you can use to zoom in on very specific parts. So I started off with this orange umbrella, and because the top of it is so nearly the same color as the background, it just proved to be really too difficult and time consuming to cut out. So I decided to get a different umbrella, and this one worked really well, and because it's got a black handle, it also meant that I'll just get rid of the background while I'm talking. It meant that, am I on the right one? No, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. It meant that I could also go up and do the same thing that I did with the bag. I could go up and I could go to adjustments, so image, adjustments, and then I could go to hue and saturation, and I could make my umbrella just a little bit more vibrant and exciting looking by playing with the saturation and the lightness. So I left it yellow, I didn't change the hue, I just made it a lot brighter. Okay, and the last one that I'll show you before we start looking at text is the parachute. So I got this image of a parachute as an example of a functional textile item that's non-apparel. But I found that it was going to be almost impossible to cut it out. But at the same time, I didn't like the way that it didn't blend in with the background. Now I played with a couple of different ways of manipulating it. I'll show you one of them just as an extra effect. But in the end, I cut it out and I blended it in. Now this is quite an advanced technique that will take you a little while. It's got lots of steps in it. So only have a go at this if you're feeling extra confident and you'd like to challenge yourself. So to start with, I tried doing a beveled edge. So I'll show you this. So I just double click on the layer, the grey part of the layer, to get your layer style menu. And like I said before, by all means play with all of these and see what they do. So I played with doing a bevel and emboss, so it looked like a kind of tile, but I decided that I didn't like that. And what I really wanted to do was I wanted this blue to be similar or the same as the background blue, which is quite difficult because we can see that this background blue actually changes. So the first thing I decided to do was cut around the parachute. Now this takes quite a steady hand. I'm going to use one of my selection tools, which is the third one down in the menu, tools menu. I'm going to use the lasso tool. Now this requires you to left click and draw with your hands, so you can end up with quite a wonky line. You might want to practice a few times. So, and this is where a graphics tablet comes in really handy. So this is not a perfect line by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll do my best to get something reasonably smooth, and I need to join it up so that I get the running ants. So now I've selected that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a clipping mask on this. So I'm going to come down to the right hand side, and you'll see a little rectangular box with a circle in it, and I'm going to add, sorry, it's called a layer mask. So I'll add my layer mask, and you can see that what that's done is it's cut out the parachute, but it kind of looks like I've literally cut it out with a pair of scissors, and I'd like to try and blend it in a little bit better than that. So I'm going to now click, and you'll see here, you can see that I've got a layer mask because I've got this black bit here that's blocking out the bit around it. So that bit's still there. It's like I've cut a hole in a piece of card so that I'm looking through a window at this. So I could get rid of that if I wanted to, and that would still be there. Now then, I'm going to go up here to select and mask and click on that, and that's going to give me a new menu. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to feather my image. I'm just going to play with these sliders. I'm going to move that transparency all the way up so that I can see what's happening. I'm going to play with these sliders just to make this edge. Can you see how it really blurs it out? So I'm going to really blur that edge. Got to be careful because I end up with that straight line coming through there. Might just shift that edge in a little bit and feather it a little bit more. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to click OK. So it's blending in reasonably nicely, but my blue is still different. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool, and I'm going to go to my background, and I'm going to sample. So I just need to make sure I'm on my background layer, my sky background. I need to sample. So if I look up here on my swatches, I can see those colors coming through. I want to sample some of the blues that are around the outside of my parachute. Okay, now this is where it's getting a little bit more complicated. I'm going to grab my move tool and select my parachute again. This time I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and I'm going to go to Replace Color. So the idea here is that I'm going to tell Photoshop that I want to replace this blue with some of this blue here. That's quite a subtle difference. So it's not a massive difference, but it still does help to blend it in a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click here using the eyedropper tool on the bit that I want to change, which is this bit here. And you'll see that it selects everything around the parachuter. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Result. So this is where I tell it the color that I want it to use. So I'm going to click on Result, but I don't want to choose a color from over here like it's asking me to. I'm going to go to my swatches panel and I'm going to choose one of the colors I selected before from my background to try and get it to match. Then I'm going to click, so we notice it's come in here as my result. Click OK and OK, and you'll see that even though it's very difficult with this image because I've got this gradient of dark to light, this has blended in so much better than it was before. I think you'll agree that looks better than it was when it was in a square of blue that was a completely different colour. So then I can move that over a little bit and I can keep doing that until I get a better colour match. But I'm quite happy with that for this level of collage. That's the end of this tutorial. The next tutorial will be all about adding text and doing text effects. So come back and have a look at the next tutorial.